We're talking about AEW Double or Nothing surprises, plus we got to talk about some canceled plans and major changes to AEW. It's coming up in today's video with timestamps in the description down below. I want to kick things off with Aussie Open. If you guys didn't know, Aussie Open was signed by AEW. It was announced yesterday after Kyle Fletcher lost to Orange Cassidy. Fantastic singles match. Orange Cassidy doing a hell of a job with the International Championship. This was a really fun match. People were into it. And really what this comes down to is AEW continues to secure the top tag teams in the world. And truth be told, it's not that I don't think WWE offers something good or bad. I just think for some guys, it makes more sense to be in AEW. This is definitely one of those cases. But what's really interesting is that Mark Davis, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, his injury has actually caused a little bit of an issue because AEW originally was planning for FTR versus Aussie Open. But instead, FTR is now going up against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett at Double or Nothing, and then we will see Mark Briscoe be the special guest referee. I'm all on board with what AEW is doing in this particular storyline. I know a lot of people are detractors when it comes to Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I see a lot of people complaining about it, but at the same time, too, I feel like this was the right choice. Aussie Open is a hell of a tag team. They're going to be really good. I feel like AEW will get back to the original plan of FTR versus Aussie Open. I think you could do that at All In. I think you can do that at Forbidden Door if you'd like. I feel like you could do that as a main event match on Dynamite. Maybe even Collision. To me, it's a big-time matchup. It's going to be a very fun matchup, and there's a lot of good that could come from it. And look, like I said, it's nothing about WWE doing good or bad. I feel like WWE has tremendously improved. I don't think the tag team division in WWE is exactly where it should be just yet. It's making small incremental changes to get there, but it's taking time. With AEW, their tag team division is established, and it's a focus on their show. And I do want to put this out there. Tony Khan paying for Mark Davis and his surgery and helping out with his medical stuff, that's just a huge win in general. And that's one thing that I really do like about Tony Khan is Mark Davis wasn't even signed to AEW, right? So he's taking care of people. We've heard about this situation and other circumstances in the past. But to put this out there, this match may or may not be canceled. But as of right now, plans have changed. And this is why. What's really interesting, though, is Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland apparently have been canceled. And I am not in favor of this. As always, I like to give statistics to help my argument. Just something I want to keep you guys with. Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez talking about Swerve and Keith Lee. They've seemingly confirmed that the match that was planned for Double or Nothing has been canceled. Now, obviously, AEW didn't announce anything, but that was sort of the plan going into Double or Nothing was them having their blow-off match. Just to give you an idea of my issue with AEW booking, because I think statistics, right? I'm not making up these statistics. I'm giving you factual information. Keith Lee has had 4 matches since AEW Full Gear. 4 televised matches. Let me make that clear. Full Gear 2022 was on November 19th. That's essentially when Keith Lee and Swerve split up. If you guys need to recall what happened, Swerve wanted Keith Lee to cheat. Basically, Keith Lee said no. Swerve slapped him. Keith Lee walked out. And then the Acclaimed won the tag team championships. That was the beginning of the end for Swerve and Keith Lee, Swerve in Our Glory. Keith Lee has wrestled on TV March 3rd, March 15th, April 12th, April 26th. Interesting, considering that the split happened on November 19th. Swerve Strickland, since November 19th, had 6 matches. On December 18th, he fought against Wheeler Yuta on Rampage, and he won. January 1st, Dynamite versus AR Fox, he won. February 1st versus Brian Pillman Jr. on Rampage. He obviously won. On February 15th, he lost to Dustin Rhodes by DQ on Rampage. April 12th, he lost against Darby Allin on Dynamite. And then May 10th on Rampage, he won a tag team match with Brian Cage. And I believe that was against the Dark Order. 6 matches since November 19th. Guys, it is May 25th, 2023. About 6 months have passed since their breakup. And on a week-to-week basis, none of these guys are being built up based on their storyline. I just have to throw this out there because it's really important that people understand. My issue is not the level of storylines that AEW produces. My issue with AEW, it's not even about signing people anymore. There's solutions to the bloated roster. My issue solely comes down to continuity. You could love or hate WWE, but every single week, the storylines that are being positioned for pay-per-view are constantly being sold, and people are constantly being used on TV to get them to the finish line. In AEW, Keith Lee and Swerve's match not going down at Double or Nothing is the exact result of lack of continuity. There is this thing called momentum, and if I need to teach you what momentum is, it's pretty simple. As you continue to gain it, you keep going up, right? Imagine a graph. You gain momentum, shoo, it goes all the way up there. Yeah, shitty-ass explanation. But guess what, my friends? Momentum is everything. And I have noticed throughout time in AEW, their storylines could sometimes, not always, right? We're seeing right now in 2023, certain storylines have done a really good job with continuity. But for the most part, continuity continues to be an issue. There's no momentum for Keith Lee as a babyface. There's no momentum for Swerve and the Mogul affiliates. Things happen, things go down, and it seems like both guys have taken their own path away from each other instead of actually building a proper storyline on a week-to-week basis with these guys going at it to build that super feud. Just to kind of throw this out there, Keith Lee and Swerve was a potentially massive singles feud. If you remember the crowd reaction for when everything went down with those guys, people wanted it. And the funny thing is, I remember I got incredibly criticized because I said Keith Lee and Swerve are world champions. I don't know why they're in a tag team. I don't know why they're in a tag team. It didn't make sense to me. These guys could be world champions. And then what was funny was they became a tag team, and I said, okay, I'm letting it play out. I'm enjoying it. And then they break up, and I'm thinking, great, these guys are going to go on a huge singles run, and everybody called me out for it. A lot of people gave me shit. But at the end of the day, it hasn't panned out for them on a singles run. This is not Keith Lee or Swerve's fault. This is clearly the booking fault. Lack of continuity, lack of momentum derails anything and everything. You cannot move this match back to Forbidden Door or for All In or for another pay-per-view. There is no momentum there. It's time to move on from it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. My opinions are based solely on the facts of what they're presenting on TV, and hopefully those numbers make sense to you. 6 matches for Swerve on TV. Keith Lee, 4 matches on TV. I think with Dark and stuff like that, Dark or Rampage, it might be a little bit different, but that's a whole different thing anyways. Guys, Double or Nothing, obviously Tony Khan has some things going down. We saw AEW introduce Sabu to the AEW Dynamite audience. We know he's going to be the special enforcer for Adam Cole and Chris Jericho's match. We know that there is a shorthanded Adam Cole there. There is expected to be more surprises for AEW Double or Nothing, which makes a lot of sense because AEW is always planning surprises for a Double or Nothing. Every year, it's kind of like a known thing that a surprise might go down. Keep in mind, AEW also has the International Championship Battle Royal. That's going to be really cool, in my opinion. It seems like AEW could have a couple surprises for that match as well. I've grown really fond of the way Orange Cassidy has held it down as International Championship. I think the booking has been very solid. Clearly, the International Championship has more value and more prestige than any other championship in AEW right now. I don't think the TNT Championship comes anywhere close. So when I look at these matchups and I look at what AEW is doing, obviously it's very clear that AEW has some surprises, but I think we're going to see something very interesting happen. And there's rumors that maybe Sabu isn't the only ECW guy that comes out for Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. There's some rumors that it could be other guys like Rob Van Dam and other ECW members. I don't know what the plan is here. Obviously, I feel like Adam Cole needs to win. I think he will win. We'll do a whole prediction stream on it as well. But I just feel like with AEW having surprises, that's good. I'm glad they want to have surprises. I'm glad that they want to make these events big and their pay-per-views must-see. But I think sometimes getting to these pay-per-view events, you got to do a proper build. And I think certain matches have really, really good builds, and I think certain matches don't. And I just kind of want to throw this out there as well because I think this is so important to my message. After Double or Nothing, we're going to be going into the build to Forbidden Door. So what are we going to do different for Forbidden Door 2 than we did for Double or Nothing? It's evident by the numbers that not everybody is excited about Double or Nothing. You can tell there's a decline in ticket sales and a whole bunch of other stuff, and that's not a bad thing. Obviously, the economy plays a role into it, but it's obviously evident based on actual numbers that the interest for Double or Nothing this year is less than it's been before. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.